The Boston Red Sox have taken game one of their homestand, game one of this 3-game series against the Oakland A's by a score of 6-1. A very good outing on the mound for Nick Pivetta. The Red Sox lineup getting into it, hitting a couple homers, scoring, putting 6 runs on the board. Big game for the Red Sox. They are now 10-2 in their last 12, especially after going 8-2 on that road trip. They have been on fire recently, and they are going to be heading into an important stretch in the season in a week and a half or so. So they need to win now, get these wins on the board, and there seems like they are doing that. It's big. We got a lot of stuff to cover here on the Red Sox game recap right here on Bleacher Brawls. My name is Derek, and let's get into it. So it's a big, important game for the Red Sox, obviously. When you go and look at the Red Sox schedule, you got to look at their schedule, right? And they have Oakland, St. Louis, and Detroit in this homestand. After this homestand, the schedule gets hard. I'm going to just really quickly go through the teams they have to play. Cleveland, Toronto, Chicago, the Cubs. Okay, the Cubs are one bad team. That's one bad team. Then you get Tampa, then you get Tampa, the Yankees, and hit your all-star break. Then you get Toronto, Cleveland, Milwaukee, Houston, Kansas City. There's a bad team. Atlanta, one game against Baltimore, whatever. Baltimore's been good against us this year. Then you get the Yankees. Oh, you get 2 games against Pittsburgh. That's 3 bad teams. Then you get series against Baltimore. That's 4 bad teams. Then you get Toronto, Tampa, Minnesota. That's from June 24th up until through August 31st. That's what, a 9-10 week stretch, and you're playing almost all good teams who are fighting for the playoffs or are in a playoff spot already. And the Red Sox are about to play St. Louis, and St. Louis is leading in the NL Central division. So they are going to play a lot of good teams quickly in a short time span, which is what makes this series against Oakland so huge. Makes this upcoming series against St. Louis, you want to win that series. Makes this series against Detroit next week so important, because if they don't play very well in these games, they're going to have to go into playing all these good teams at a disadvantage. Cleveland's right up behind them in the wild card standings. Toronto obviously is ahead of them in the division and the wild card. The Rays are ahead of them. The Yankees are leading the division. Milwaukee was leading the division. They're on a losing streak, but by the time we play them at the end of July, they probably still won't be on a losing streak. Houston, they're Houston. Atlanta, they're starting to get on a roll now. So, in Minnesota's good. They're leading the AL Central. So, and then you even get Texas to start September. Texas has been good. Then you get Tampa again. There's just a lot of good teams the Red Sox play, and this in like a 10-week stretch. So they're going to have to make these games right now count. They count more than what they normally would, considering the Red Sox got off to a slow start. That's considering that they got off to a slow start. Now, and the Red Sox also going to have to deal with that series against Cleveland starts on the 24th. Nate Eovaldi and Garrett Whitlock can't come back until the 24th at the earliest. That's at the earliest. So they may get them both back for the series, but I have a bad feeling that at least one of them is not coming back when they're ready, and there's a good chance when they could. And then I think there's a legitimate possibility that both of them might have to be on the injury list longer than the minimum required for them. So the Red Sox are going to have to deal with that. They're really going to have to deal with that and figure that out. They're going to have to. When you start looking at their team, and there's Cutter Crawford put in a good start in Seattle. Looks like Josh Winkowski will probably get a start or two. Cutter Crawford will probably get another start. There's the guys, they have the depth, but will the depth be enough to overcome the losses of Whitlock and Eovaldi? And it's not even Whitlock, the fact of losing Whitlock from the rotation. If he was healthy and you put him in the bullpen, yes, you have to fill the rotation spot, but you still get him in the bullpen. He's out. You cannot use him in any situation now. And now Eovaldi has been your best pitcher over the last, 2-3 years. I should say 2 years, so 2019 wasn't a good year, but over the last 2 years, not including this year, he's been our best pitcher. And now he's injured. So obviously Pivetta and Walker have been good. Rich Hill's done enough, but it still puts you a little bit on edge Obviously, the Red Sox can maybe try and look for an inning guy who's maybe like a little bit of an innings eater, can just eat some innings every fifth day. Maybe they look at that. But I don't think so. I think they trust their depth. And I hope these guys can put in some good starts, because also too, if they can put in some good starts now, it also helps ease that transition next year when Evaldi may not be there, and maybe Walker leaves and Rich Hill leaves, and maybe Paxton isn't there next year. We'll see. I know he has a team option that if that they decline becomes the player option, so that's a little weird. And can Sale stay healthy? Is Whitlock or how going to be in the rotation next year? Who knows? So getting these guys starts now actually isn't a bad thing. Obviously, you don't like it to be in the situation it's in with guys getting injured, but it may not be the worst thing in the world if they pitch well. But you're going to feel confident about your chances. Now, this game obviously is the Red Sox game recap. Now let's dive into the actual game that happened tonight instead of just situations that's going on with the team, obviously, because that's still important. But Nick Pivetta, great outing, 8 innings, only giving up 3 hits. 1 run. That 1 run was the homer in the 8th inning. So basically, he didn't give many runs through 7 innings. Was solid. Yeah, I gave up the homer in the 8th. Whatever. It was 6-0. Made it 6-1. It wasn't the end of the world. And then Phyllis Valdez obviously came in the 9th, but that doesn't really matter. He might even get sent down to bring Winkowski back up. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But big outing for Nick Pivetta. Big outing. Important outing for Nick Pivetta. And then you look at the lineup, Rob Refsnyder at the top of the lineup. Very good tonight. 3 out of 4 is smoking the ball all over the place. Played good defensively tonight. Rob Refsnyder is making himself a case because the rosters are gonna have to get rid of a pitcher in in less than a week now. The rosters are gonna go down from 14 pitchers maximum to 13 pitcher maximum, which means you're gonna need an extra position player. And Refsnyder's making the case that when everyone's healthy, maybe he should be that 13th hitter on the roster. Now, we'll still see where everything lands, because Kike is injured right now. So is there a chance Duran could come up? Maybe, or maybe they look at like a Ryan Fitzgerald. Actually, I think that actually would be smart. Bring up someone like Ryan Fitzgerald who can just kind of fill in everywhere. I feel like the Red Sox kind of need that kind of utility player. And because even though Kike, yes, he's kind of a utility player, he hasn't been in the utility role. I feel like the Red Sox need someone to fill that. And Ryan Fitzgerald can do that. So I think he'd actually be valuable to the team. Plus, you're not really going to hurt his development. He's 27. Let's be honest. If, pulling him up from AAA now, and he's done well in AAA this year. So it's not like you're prematurely just going to bring him up. But just the versatility he can give you. It's similar. It's a similar situation what Brock Holt gave the Red Sox. He's maybe not going to play as well as what Brock Holt did. And obviously, everyone loves Brock Holt, but Brock Holt wasn't the best player on any team. He was never the best player, but he gave so much value because of his versatility. Even if he wasn't necessarily playing well at the plate, you can stick him at first base one game. Next game, you can stick him at third. You can stick him at second or short. You can stick him in left field or center or right. You can do all that, and I think the Red Sox could use someone like that, especially considering you're lacking on first baseman. Your backup third baseman right now is starting at first base in Dalbec because he's been playing well. So you don't really have a backup third baseman. You don't really have Arroyo, I guess, is a backup shortstop, but he's playing second. He is second base, but he's been playing a lot of right field this year. So it gives you that flexibility, with guys, so you don't have to be moving. And maybe you can take Arroyo out of the outfield because defensively in the outfield, he has not been that great this year. He hasn't been terrible, but at the end of the day, what were you expecting? We're moving a second baseman who's never played the outfield before to the outfield. It's just not bound to work out well defensively. Now, obviously, Devers hit that 3-run homer late in the game. It was only hit. That was huge. He's got 15 on the year. Devers is. I know I didn't put him as my starting third baseman in my All-Star ballot when I did that video just a couple days ago. I still think Jose Ramirez has that little bit of an edge on Devers, but it's almost like I want to do they're like 1A and 1B right now in the American League for third baseman. It's so close. It's just I think Jose Ramirez edged it out for me because Cleveland would be nowhere close to where they would be without him. He's so important for Cleveland. So yeah. But we'll see. JD Martinez looks like he's finding the power stroke again. He's finding that back. I see Dahlbeck had a hit. I know he struck out twice, but here's the thing with Dahlbeck. He had one hit and 4 at-bats tonight. That's 1 for 4. That's a 225 average. If Dahlbeck does that every night, I'm happy with it. I'm more than happy with it. And I think that's true. We can't just expect Dahlbeck to go out and hit bombs every night. Just having Dahlbeck just even go out and he gets a hit. And also he made some nice picks at first. So he's becoming more and more important, especially as Franchi's been struggling recently. So, and at the end of the day, and I've said it, Franchi's not a first baseman. I love Franchi, but he's not a first baseman. So for Dahlbeck to hopefully get going, and even he doesn't have to play amazing, he can just play good enough. That's all we need. If he can go 1 for 4 is not 225. I think I said 225. That's 250. He goes 1 for 4 every game. Who's gonna complain? Who's gonna complain if he just goes 1 for 4 every game? Like, I'm not. I know I'm not gonna complain about it. So yeah, I think that's the thing with Dahlbeck. You don't expect too much out of him. Don't go expecting him to hit 30 home runs this year, but just roll with him. Just roll with the flow. Don't go expecting, oh, he's gonna hit 30. Just relax with him. Let him do what he does. When he plays well, he goes 1 for 4, we'll take that game. Yes, struck out twice. You only had 1 hit, but you went 1 for 4. Like, it's a 250 average, that's above league average. So you take those, you take them. Even though it doesn't seem like a big game, you take them. I think that's what is important with Bobby Dahlbeck. You take what you get with him. And then from the A side of things, there wasn't much. Obviously, Stephen Vogt hit that homer in the 8th. There wasn't really much else. I gotta give a shout out to my guy Tony Kemp because I know he had a hit tonight. He's been struggling this year, but I still like him. So yeah, I gotta give a quick shout out to him. And then the A starter Koenig, I think his name was. I'm terrible at pronouncing names if I don't know how to pronounce them. So if I'm pronouncing it wrong, I'm sorry, A's fans. But they went 4 innings. So I gave him 9 hits, 6 runs, 2 walks, 2 bombs. I mean, it's the A's. I mean, let's be honest. Like, you don't beat up on the A's. The only exception you get is if Frankie Montas is on the mound, I think. You should beat up on the A's. And then, I mean, the A's bullpen didn't give up any runs, but at that point, didn't really matter because the Red Sox were up 6-0 and they only gave up 1 other run. So yeah, it was, but overall for the Red Sox, a good game. Oakland just struggled tonight. Pivetta looked amazing. The offense looked good, at least against the starter. So for the Red Sox, so it was a very good game for the Red Sox. You're not going to complain. Tomorrow for the Red Sox, they're going to have to face James Caprillion. Red Sox, who knows who's starting? Cora has literally said he's not announcing it tonight. So who knows? It seems like Josh Winkowski tomorrow. That's what it would seem like. And then it would seem like Rich Hill because it is Rich Hill on Thursday with Paul Blackburn for the A's. So it would seem like Josh Winkowski is the likely candidate because he said it's not going to be Bayo. And Connor Siebel just pitched today, Tuesday night, with the Woo Sox. So it seems like when this video comes out, it'll be Wednesday morning. So tonight's game will be most likely Josh Winkowski, unless there's some unforeseen circumstances. Seems like Josh Winkowski is the most likely option because he said it won't be a bullpen game. But yeah, I think that's going to wrap this one up. Hopefully Josh Winkowski can get a good start tomorrow and put the Red Sox in a position to win. And as I said, it'd be big for these guys like Cutter, Crawford, and Winkowski to get some good starts under their belt. For the Red Sox, but also too for Red Sox fans, get them a little bit more comfortable heading into next year when some guys might not be here. Make sure to check out everything in the description, all the links, the website, the podcast, the Instagram, the Twitter, and all the Cruise Twitters are also down there. Make sure to keep updated with our Twitter because we do Twitter Spaces sometimes during Red Sox games, so we'll notify you guys when we do them. So make sure to keep an eye out for them. Sometimes it can be a little short notice, but just keep an eye out for them. And then also make sure to check out all our previous Red Sox game recaps, all our previous prospect pipelines. Later today, we will have one coming out 2 p.m. Eastern, Wednesday, June 15th, which is today. We'll have one coming out on Max Meyer, the Marlins top pitching prospect and the number 28 ranked prospect in baseball. So stay tuned in for that. And then on Friday, we will have another video coming out. We'll keep the details for that one hidden, and you guys can wait for Friday for that surprise. It will be on the Yankees, so I can guarantee you that. Yeah, I think that's going to wrap this one up. This is Red Sox Recap on Bleacher Brawls. My name is Derrik. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.